Hey, I'm back again. Beautiful day out here in the yard. It's just unbelievable. Today's topic, trusting your gut. Now, this is a topic that I have royally screwed up on. And when I get older now, I'm learning to trust your instincts, trust your gut, trust your instincts, same thing. But there's two stories I want to tell you that I did not trust my gut that taught me to trust your gut. First story is I'm going to not name names, but a certain family member to get into business with. And at the beginning, I was like, "Oh yeah, this is going to be good." While it was starting, I had this overwhelming fear and this terrible feeling inside me, like, "Don't do this, man." Also, this individual has is very close to me, very close to me. Now you can probably figure that who that would be, but and they had a history of kind of weird money behaviors, kind of, not healthy. Um, but I decided to do it anyway. And then once the business started running, things fell apart with the income, with not understanding who's going to get what and who's taking more risk. And this person helped you get the equipment for the business. So now there was no strings attached, but then you find out there's strings attached, like a lot of strings that shouldn't be there. And I lost my ass on that. It affected my relationship with my partner. I lost probably with time and labor and a bunch of other expenses that we occurred during this terrible operation, probably like 20 G's. I'm not going to get into the business because it's a long story, and I don't want to get like there could people that could see this that are you know. All I'm going to say is I did not trust my gut, and I knew like it's like I knew it. Like I don't know why I did it, to be honest. But now I'm going to trust my gut. Second thing that happened to me again with somebody that I know very well. Oh, this is going to be a great stock. It's going to go up 100%. Oh yeah. Oh, how much are you spending? Hundreds of thousands this person. Oh, okay. So there's no risk. I mean, they say, and then they knew people that were in the industry. Boom, 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 boom. Next thing you know, it or $15,000 upside down. It went from $4 to now it's at 3 cents for years. Pot stock. We lost all of it, and now you can't even sell it. There's a hold on the stock. So yeah, and I look at it sometimes on my bank profile, and I'm like, I'm not a stock guy. I don't gamble. We might go to the casino once in a while. We spend like 20, $50 or something, and if we lose, we walk out of there. If I win, I walk out too. I don't have that kind of problem, but I could see how it could be a problem. But if you watch my other videos about me being an alcoholic, now that is another story. That's something I don't fuck with. But casinos, a couple of times maybe I've gone in there, won a bunch, and then kind of squandered it. But most of the time I leave, and I only go once a year, twice a year. I haven't been in years actually to think, and we have one close. I wouldn't mind checking out. And it's kind of fun. When we went on holidays to Mexico, or no, that was Dominican. A few years back, they had a casino there. I spent like $20 US or something. That was it, right? But anyways, back to the story of trusting your gut. So I thought about, and my partner too was like, I don't know about this. I mean, I don't know about this, and I don't know about I mean, the company that was had this stock. I don't know. They're kind of new, this and that. Like she researched a bit, and I'm like, it's gonna be fine because they know what's the what, and they know so and this and that, and they say it's gonna go, and they put all. She reluctantly agreed, and it wasn't all of it money at once. It was like a little bit, and then they're like, okay, listen, it's gonna go, and it did start to go up a bit, and so then we're like, okay, a bit more. It ended up to be about 15,000, but while I was doing it, I was only kind of doing it because of this person's relationship towards me. And I also knew that their decisions about this issue in the past have not been great. I still did it against all of my gut feelings. I went and did it and lost all of it. Okay, so the two gut instincts, and there's a third one actually, the two gut instincts that I have royally failed have cost me in the ballpark of 30 grand. Yeah, not good because some of that we had to put on a line of credit and everything because it was stupid. I'm never going to do it again. And so I told my wife, do not let me do anything stupid because I got ADD. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I start to come up with a business idea. Next thing you know it, I'm ordering all this shit. Just happened recently again. I thought, oh, I'm going to start a candle business because I already make fountains and stuff out of concrete. I do this in the spring and summer, and I have a farm stand. We have a huge garden. We sell all kinds of this, vegetables and garden ornaments and all this kind of art stuff, right? And I do okay with it. I mean, I'm not getting rich over it, but it's getting better. I can make an okay living. I'm not rolling in money. People think I'm not. I struggle, man. I struggle a lot, but I mean, I'm making enough to pay the bills. But I would like to do more. This is why I started YouTube. So I'm not like, don't look at me like, oh, this guy's, you know, I'm just being honest. The tractor that you saw in the video, making payments on that. So it's not like but I did it right. I got to use one, and we needed it to do the drainage around the house, or we were going to hire a company. It was going to cost like 80 grand. So I'm like, why can't I buy a tractor for 15 grand or I think it was 18 grand, and I did it all myself. So we saved a huge amount of money, and I used the tractor to move the 1,800-pound fountains and load them in people's vehicles. So that's why I needed it. But even the fountain business, concrete fountains and garden ornaments, since the economy's taken a big fucking shitter in Canada, I haven't been able to sell them. Like I had to literally give them away, and I'm not happy about it because the freaking mold for those big fountains, it was like 12 grand. It's a kind of another thing it's not like, the thing is, I'm getting off topic a bit, but the thing is, like, I trusted my gut, and I was already making money with a smaller fountain like in 2021 and 2022. Yeah. Like the pandemic was kind of winding down, and like I was selling a lot of them. I was selling like, I mean, I probably sold like 20 in a season, which is a lot, and they're 1,000 each, right? And then plus I was selling all kinds of other stuff, benches and big, huge turtles. I was making a lot, big planters. I make like giant planters, concrete planters. I was selling those for hundreds each, 250 a piece. People ordering 2, 4 at a time. Usually always 2 at a time, but 4 too. So I was making good money. Then all of a sudden, 2023, 24, it fell off a cliff, man. So I started a farm stand. I made a huge garden, and I'm like, people need to buy vegetables, right? But you're not going to get rich selling vegetables. Let's just be honest. It's just like gas money. But then I started selling the garden ornaments in there and other art stuff. And so then I had this fantastic idea, back to the trust your gut. Well, I can use the same molds I already have, like making little birds and little like statues and all this kind of like little owls. And I can make candles out of like I can pour wax inside those molds, put a wick in it, and then I can have a owl that's you can burn, right? So and then I got little jars. I started buying all these jars, frosted vessels, and I started making candles. Well, I didn't fucking sell almost none of them. And then I started finding out like all these candle companies are shutting down because of the wax is too expensive. It's like doubled. And then all the stuff that you have to buy, these glass vessels are like $4 or $5 each. The margins are terrible, terrible. Compared to concrete, like making concrete gardeners, the margins are massive. It's a lot of work though, but it's massive. Like your return is 20, 30, 100 times sometimes of what it costs to make. Not candles. I learned that out. I was like knee deep in it and I cut it off. So we've been burning all these candles that I've been making. I'm going to show you guys. Stuff like this. You know, I've been making things. I was making things like this. Tons of them. Tons of them. I was making like, I made like over 100 of them. And then I noticed that it weren't selling on the farm stand. Like other stuff was selling. Nobody was buying them. And I had to price them at a price that I could still make some money. Nobody was buying them. I've been giving them away. Okay. I've been giving them to my neighbors. I gave them to my parents. We've been burning them nonstop all through the holidays. The house smells great, but I lost my fucking ass on that. I lost thousands of dollars again. And but this time, me and my wife were like, this is going to work because you got all the molds. But I spent thousands of dollars on wax and melters and wicks and wooden wicks and more wicks and tables and labels and fuck. It's just going to depress me, man. I'm not perfect, but this was many months ago. I'm going to stick with what works. I'm not going to try to reinvent the wheel and try to come up with all these ideas and buying all this equipment. Because in this like fragile economy, you can't be just, I'm speaking for myself, do what you want. You can't just start buying stuff and come up with these ideas. Because next thing you know, all the stuff starts arriving at your door, and a lot of people, they don't have the money to spend on this extra stuff like candles and stuff. They can go to Walmart and buy one for $4. They're not going to buy it off some dude that's making it not on an industrial level for $27, $30 each because he has to, because I can't afford to buy pallets of wax. Pallets of wax are $2,500. That's the only way you can make money in that business. So I did the smart thing because a lot of the molds I didn't buy them because I can use them. So I only lost like the wax, and then we're enjoying them for ourselves. I gave them as gifts. I gave them to my neighbors. Everybody's enjoying them, including me. But I lost my ass on the rest of it. And the time. So I learned how to make candles really well. That's what I got out of it. But I lost my ass again, and I wasted a bunch of money. Not researching things properly, and not just sticking to what's working already, which is the farm stand I have, selling vegetables. It's going pretty well. Like I can make a living, I could pay all our bills with that alone. I'm not making hundreds of thousands. It's much less than $100,000, but I'm doing that. My wife works. I make the big fountains. I make money off that. That's a separate kind of just the farm stand income. And then that, so we'll combine it, like we're doing okay, right? We could pay our bills, but I would like to do better. I would like to do better. I would like to make enough money that I can look at myself and go, you know what, man, you're doing really well. I have no education. I barely graduated. I graduated with work experience credits. I was failing every class. I just intellectually, when it comes to like textbook stuff, I'm not good. I'm not, and I'm just being honest. So I'm really trying to do the YouTube thing because I think I have a okay personality, and I've gone through a lot, including mental health problems, major addiction problems, and depression. And watched my other video about antidepressants that have destroyed my life for like 20 years because I can't get off of them, which I'm still trying to do. That's another topic. I can't get off these drugs, man. I'm tapering off of them, and anyway. I'm way down than I used to be, but they've got me like trapped on them because when you try to get off of them, you start going through withdrawals, and I couldn't function. Last year, I could not function. 2 Christmases in a row, I've gotten sick because of the medication going down the dose, and then my body reacts. So that's another topic, but I'm trying to stay on topic. I'm looking at my letter below the camera. Trusting your gut, though. I've learned from my own mistakes, and I'm the one admitting it to everybody in the world that I've fucked up royally in the last many years on even being dead sober, just coming up with ideas and running with it before you give it enough thought. Next thing you know it's all on your credit card and it didn't work out. It's not a good feeling. So now I'm not going to do that anymore. And I told my wife, stop me, because I got major ADD, man. I'll just get on to some subject and some idea. I'll run with it. Next thing you know, it's at the house. I'm not doing it anymore because I have to pay it all back, like I'm not doing that anymore. I'm thinking about what I'm doing. If I want to make more money, or if you want to make more money, look around the house. Do you have a power washer that hasn't been used? Do you have things that you can be a handyman and not go spend a whole bunch of money on brand new power washers and this and that and saws and everything? Because if it doesn't work out, you're stuck with all this shit. I don't need it. And then a lot of people are just putting it on loans. A Home Depot card. Fuck it, I'll pay it later. Yeah, later comes quick. I don't know if anybody's noticed, but when you go, oh, that's a month away. Well, that's like saying it's a week away. Because I'm not sure what's going on with the earth. It seems like, yeah, I know I'm older, and when you get older, time goes faster. But even young people say this. It seems like time is really going fast. Like a month is not a month. And if you say, oh, someone's coming over in a week, we got to get the house a bit ready. Yeah, you might as well just say that's in 2 days. So later is way sooner than you think. So I have a power washer. I used to have a huge power washing company. I used to have a really big home maintenance company. But I've had some issues with vertigo and stuff from these meds. Getting off these meds, it's caused me to be dizzy. So I used to be hanging off ladders and 5-story buildings and stuff. But I haven't done that because it was totally unsafe. I had some close calls. So, but that is my next plan, though, is to get my home maintenance business going back. There's a lot of younger guys that should be doing that, but they're doing, they're content creating and they're doing other things now. So there's a bit of an opening for that. So, and I used to make a really good living doing that. That's another story. But so I thought about doing that, the farm stand, the vegetables, like a whole bunch. That's what us guys have to do that don't have, university degrees. We have to have all these sources of income to have it equal something that we can even be sort of happy with. And I'm not like trying to make more money so I can buy crap and buy a brand new car that's no, I just want to save for the future because I'm worried about what's going to happen, in the future. And my wife does really well. I'm not really, I don't expect her to be doing all this. No, man. And I put into that. Almost everything I make goes into this fund to pay off all the debt. And I try to do my best, right? But I would like to make, it's hard. It's hard as a man. If your partner makes way more than you do, you feel like a loser, man. She does really well. And it's hard for me. And it's hard to get to that number. It's a big number. So making 50 grand is like peanuts. Even 100 is not enough. So I'm trying to get to that level. It's hard. No education. What are you going to do? 100 grand a year in Canada, it's like, that's quite a bit of money. I mean, I know everything's gone up, but it is still decent money if you spend it right. If you're making $250,000 and you're still broke and you got like 3 brand new cars and a Sea-Doo and a boat and all these payments, and yeah, you're not gonna, it's going to be like you have no money. But if you do it smart, which I'm still learning from her, she's super good with money, man. If you watch my cooking videos and how we're spending like $35, $40 and we're making like all tons of meals with it for the whole week, for 2 weeks, for 3 weeks, I'm getting that from her. She's Polish. She was brought up to be super good with money. I was not. So I'm trusting my gut, listening to her and being humble enough to be like, you know what? She's way better at doing this, man. When we go shopping, I just kind of like start dumping stuff in the cart and I want to get the hell out of there. She only buys things for sales. goes through the flyers, looks at everything before we go, plans out the stores, and we saving like we're eat $600 for two people for 1 month. Plus, we're giving some of that food to three dogs. Sometimes we can even do it for five if we avoid Costco. That's pretty good for two people for a whole month. So, and we're eating pretty good. Anyways, I'm off topic a bit, but I'm trusting my gut. I'm not just going rogue anymore and just running with stupid ideas that the next day I'm like, fuck, that was not, and it, all of it's coming already. Like, seriously, that's how I don't do it. I'm not doing it. I haven't done it since this candle thing. I cut it off. I'm not doing it anymore because it's costly. Can't afford to waste money. That is my subject on trusting your gut. I'm trusting my gut all the time now. And I had to learn it from my partner because nobody taught me this. You know, watch my other story about that issue. I was just kind of led into the world very, very young, and I didn't learn any of these skills. So I had to learn it, and I have to be humble enough to be like, you know what? I'm going to learn from my partner because she knows best. She's a better shopper. Let her do that. I can fix the cars. Let him do that. He can do the gutters because he's better at that. She can design the house and the renovation projects. She's better with that. It's nothing to do with control. We split. Whoever's better at the task does it. I'm better at taking care of the dogs and brushing them and controlling them, right? She's better at selecting new vehicles to buy that aren't going to break down because I have also fucked up royally on that. Oh, yeah. So anyway, that's enough out of me. And I hope you guys have a great day. And I'll make another video tomorrow. See ya.